This topic is about the fact that anything is possible, and the reason we're sharing this with you is to help you to realise and unlock your true potential. Now, if something's possible in the world, then it's actually possible for you too, which means that you can actually achieve anything. Now, with us, anything is possible is really highlighted in our work. We help people on a daily basis. We're helping people who are being told that their condition is incurable. And we're proving that actually that's not true. Because if you're not born with an anxiety disorder, then you shouldn't have to live with it forever. Now, a few years ago, we worked with a lady called Jo. Jo had been involved in a road traffic accident. As a result of that, when we met her, she was in a wheelchair. She was told that she would never be able to walk again, and that she would never overcome her post-traumatic stress disorder and the resulting fear of being in cars or being a passenger in a car. When we helped her, and she actually did overcome her post-traumatic stress disorder, that completely changed her life, because we met her a little while after, didn't we?
That's right, and that actually changed her belief. You see, when you're told that you can do something and then suddenly it becomes possible, it changes your beliefs in a lot of ways. And Jo came to one of our events, and she was in a wheelchair on the front row, and she put her hand up and said hello, and she said she wanted to show us something, and she stepped up out of the chair and she walked to the stage and walked towards us, and it was just such a breathtaking moment.
Really
and she said, I realise now that actually anything is possible, and whilst I've only walked 6 steps so far, I know that I will walk again.
So how was this possible? Well, although it's not physically possible for everyone, for Jo, she actually started to consider, well, if it was possible to overcome post-traumatic stress disorder, then perhaps I can walk again. And her mindset completely changed, and that made her feel more determined to walk, and the consequences is that she now is. So some well-known celebrities that have actually highlighted that anything's possible. Well, one of them, one of my favourite authors, is J.K. Rowling. And J.K. Rowling was a young woman who had an idea on a train one day about this wizard. And it took her quite some years to actually put pen to paper. And when she actually did, it was at a time where she'd really hit rock bottom. She had been recently divorced, she'd lost her mum, she'd also just, she'd had a baby, and suddenly she was catapulted into being a single parent and was really quite living on the poverty line. As a consequence of that, she actually started to write the Harry Potter series, and she wrote just 3 chapters and sent it to 12 publishers. Now, sending it to 12 publishers, believe it or not, every single one of those publishers turned around and said to her, we're not interested, it's not for us, it's predictable. Now, JK could have at that moment thought, you know what, this probably isn't for me, but she didn't. She didn't give up. And it was all down to an 8-year-old girl. You see, she'd sent to a publisher these 3 chapters, and his 8-year-old daughter read them. And on reading those 3 chapters, she said, I really want to know what happens next. So her dad spoke to J.K. Rowling and said, right, okay, I'm going to give it a go, but listen, you need to get yourself a job, because being a children's author will never make you any money. I think she proved everybody wrong, and she's a great example. She's just a normal woman. She's a mum. She was just a normal lady like most of us, and she proved that anything was possible. And I think that what she's achieved now, it just speaks for itself.
Another great example is one of my favourite actors, Tom Cruise. He's done some amazing films, and yet he started off apparently abused by his father. He was thinking of going into the priesthood, but became an actor. Thankfully he did, and apparently he's worth in excess of 250 million.
See, that's a guy that had a really challenging life, and could have actually thought that, you know what, I'm not going to really do very well in life, but anything's possible, and I think he proved it.
So quite literally, anything is possible. And if there's something that you want to do in life and you're not sure how to do it, well, the great thing is someone in the world will most probably have done it first. And the great thing about that is success leaves clues. It's like following a recipe. So look at someone who's done what you want to do. Go and find information about them. Get the autobiography, and you'll be surprised. They've left the recipe for you to follow. If you follow the recipe, you should get the same results.